Jai Shri Krishna. The story of Narayandasji Kayastha. Narayandasji was born into a Kayastha Vaishnav family in the town of Ambala. As a grown-up teenager, he was assisting his father, who was an officer in the office of the king. He developed an immoral habit of gambling due to wicked company. Over a few months, he lost a large sum of money he could not recover. After hearing his son's habit and loss, his father settled the debt but disowned his son, and he was forced to leave home. Ashamed of his immoral ways, Narayandasji not only left his home, but also even left the town to travel to South India. He settled in a small village and studied some scriptures with a Brahmin scholar. His religious education earned him a teaching job. In those days, the teacher believed in corporal punishment to discipline students. During a time when Narayandasji was harshly beating up an unruly student, ShriMahaPrabhuji's disciple Krishna-ShriNathji stopped him. When the angry Narayandasji questioned Krishna-ShriNathji's motive, he said, "What if the boy dies by your beating? Would you then run away from here just as you ran away from Ambala because of your gambling debt?" Shocked and surprised by the revelation of his secret by a total stranger, Narayandasji calmed down and asked the stranger, "Who are you and how do you know my past?" Krishna-Dasji introduced himself and suggested that Narayandasji must leave his teaching job and accompany him to meet his guru, the great ShriMahaPrabhuji. Narayandasji declined the suggestion. The beating continued after Krishna-Dasji left. After that, the boy lost consciousness and didn't seem to be able to recover. Narayandasji got scared and set out to look for the great guru that the stranger was talking about. Soon he found ShriMahaPrabhuji. Crying his heart out, scared, Narayandasji bowed to the great guru and sought help. During his visit to Narayandasji, ShriMahaPrabhuji gifted him a glass of sanctified water to the child, which he asked to pour on him. He then sprinkled the water on the boy who was unconscious. As soon as the boy came around, Narayandasji sent all of his students home, asking them never to return. He came back to ShriMahaPrabhuji and appealed for his initiation into Pushti Bhakti Marg. ShriMahaPrabhuji accepted Narayandasji as his disciple and invited him to accompany him on his pilgrimage to the holy city of Dwarka. Narayandasji was much delighted and spent days with his guru trying to enlighten himself with the spiritual knowledge of his guru. At the end of their stay in Dwarka, when ShriMahaPrabhuji instructed Narayandasji to return to his hometown, he realized that Pushti Bhakti Marg knowledge remained beyond his grasp. To strengthen his faith in Krishna, he humbly asked the great guru for enlightenment. Forever kind to his disciples, ShriMahaPrabhuji wrote a book known as Balbodh and explained it to his beloved disciple Narayandasji. The Guru wrote Brahmasabandh mantra and Astakshar mantra on the paper for Narayandasji and instructed him to worship the mantra paper. His parents were pleased to see their son convert into a Krishna devotee when he returned home and made amends. Narayandasji began working as the Prime Minister of the king. He nurtured a deep desire to go to Darshan of Shriji Baba and his revered Guru ShriMahaPrabhuji, but his extremely busy daily schedule would not make it possible. So he hired a servant who was given the only task of asking Narayandasji, "Bhaiya, when should we go to Darshan of Shriji and ShriMahaPrabhuji?" every hour. Upon being asked of this question, Narayandasji would say, "Sure, we will leave soon." He would then immerse into deep meditation for a few minutes and get back to work afterward. The cycle would continue throughout the day, every day. Narayandasji kept in touch with his guru and God through his recurring meditations, even if he was unable to leave town. The moral of Narayandasji Kayastha's story is that on the strength of utmost faith, absolute love devotion, and constant remembrance, a Vaishnav can remain connected forever to Shri Krishna-ShriNathji and ShriMahaPrabhuji, even when he cannot have their darshan. Jai Shri Krishna.